My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. 1 second. We finished fixing this here. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this time it stays. All right, I hope it stays this time. I hope so. Let's see. All right. All right. Bring this down. All right. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. Listen, man. These are the things that we got to deal with, right? Talking about internet connection and all this stuff, man. Hopefully it's working good now. Hopefully it's good. I've restarted the computer and everything, so it should be good this time. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. My brother Molly's in the building, man. Let's drop a bomb for this thing, man. It's been a crazy morning, but we're here, people. We made it. Can we drop a bomb, please? Y'all appreciate that, Molly. So we in here, man. We in here. Like, share, subscribe, hit hype the video. If you want to become an official sponsor of the channel, that link that's pinned at the top, it'll take you directly to that, and you could join and support and be a sponsor. And it's as low as 99 cents, people. Get you in the Discord and all that good stuff. All right, get you a nice little badge around your next to your name. So yeah, man, appreciate y'all, man. So this is what we're gonna do. They dropped the first episode of the evolution of Arc Raiders. So we're gonna take a look at that. It's like a little documentary. It's gonna be 3 episodes, and they dropped the first one, I believe it was yesterday. So we're gonna take a look at that together, and then we're gonna go into some Arc Raiders gameplay. All right, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff for you. I appreciate y'all. We in here, man. Understand what I'm saying? These are facts, people. All right, the facts. All right. Yo, and let me know if everything sounds good and things like that. All right, let me know if everything's sounding good. So let's take a look at this joint right here. Here's the Arc Raiders. Hold on. I had it here. Oh, they must have changed it. Okay, I thought I had it. That shit called? Hold up, hold up. Right here, I got it. We good. Good, y'all. Bang. Get into it, people.
Like a lot of the initial employees at Embark and the founders came from DICE. And I've been in the industry for close to 20 years. Most of that spent with the people here. I shipped 21 games while at EA, I think.
During my 20 years of building games or more, you know, the first game we built, we were 7 people in an apartment basically, you know, to then oversee productions with over 1,000 people. Are the games themselves better? There are more of them, they're at higher fidelity, but are they actually better games? How do we move away from productions that are so large that they're difficult to manage?
I mean, I was part of the group, the founders group, so I was here when we were 6 people. Technology-wise, I mean, we quickly settled on Unreal, and then in conjunction with that, we also had proprietary tech that we were developing, and then also, of course, invested heavily on procedural tools, especially for the content team.
The initial gang sat around a big table and discussed things that we want to explore and games that we want to try and see if this fits into something that we want to do. So we started this endeavor of making micro pitches. That we would come up with a simple game concept and talk about it for just a couple of minutes. And we started doing this over and over, we started seeing common thematics. They slowly formed into the initial pitch for what we wanted to make, so we pitched it to ourselves. A couple of these explorations were left by the wayside. One of them became the finals.
A couple of thematics that we knew we were excited about was, of course, the prospect of space travel, the impending sort of ecological collapse, the rise of AI and the man versus machine angle. That was a game in there, and I think when we were the first initial group sort of vetting different concepts, I think those were the things that were sticky in there. I think from a mechanics perspective, I think the first pitch was something along the lines of session-based raids. To give you an idea, we talked about some sort of Venn diagram between Shadow of the Colossus, Left 4 Dead, and PUBG. Somewhere in the middle there was a game concept that, I mean, on paper, that was a super compelling concept to us, especially the making you a small human in a vast world with huge machines. That's what we started to explore, not knowing at all what kind of game loop we were supposed to have, but just like looking at the prospects of different mechanics in that context.
So we wanted to make something completely our own, and everyone had a...
You notice how they're showing a lot of like those bikes and things like that. That like you riding on a bike and shooting the queen and all that stuff. That shit'll be yo, bro. This is the thing. This game, they could take this game. There's so many possibilities. They could add this shit could become its own little world. The more and more it grows, they could add a separate like little racing situation. Like I don't know if most of y'all seen Star Wars Episode 1 when young Anakin was racing. It kind of reminds me of that, and they could put that in this game. They could make a whole different like section, different like, you know, if you just want to race against other people and the bikes will have like guns, machine guns, and different gadgets that'll pull. Let's say it'll pull the other one that's in front of you and pull them behind, like a get over here situation, and things like that. Like they could really do a lot of things, bro, with this game.
An idea of something fantastical, sci-fi leaning, because it's comfortable, everyone kind of likes it, but it's also a challenge to carve out your own niche in that. And it was, I mean, it was certainly challenging. Even my kid, who was like 11 or 12 at the time, just had the sentiment going, oh, new studio, sci-fi game, very original.
Embark's first game was going to define the studio, and they wanted to work on something that was outside of their familiar first-person military backgrounds, a game that was on the bleeding edge of technological innovation.
Yeah,
the team
facts.
entered a long period of brainstorming and ideation as the studio slowly built up around them, a process that gave them many of their most attractive ideas, but also created significant design cul-de-sacs that would prove troublesome down the road. This project was known internally as Pioneer.
We developed, I think, core mechanics at the same time as we were testing out some initial ideas about the game mode itself. No one was thinking about a larger meta game at that time, like what is the actual economy that drives the players' motivations and so on. We were literally exploring the initial mechanics of how does it feel to play against these machines, and because I think all games needs to go through that. Like, is there something fun in the second-to-second mechanics? Like, is it fun to even in FIFA? If it's not fun to kick a ball against the wall, it's not going to be a fun football game. Sort of put these large machines in this large world, and I mean, we're again testing out playing against these large machines just from a pure sort of game and spectacle. There was something there.
You can say it was an extremely ambitious project. It's supposed to be a new genre, or was supposed to be a new genre, and session-based raid with, say, 40 players. And you're supposed to take down huge obstacles together, like big bosses, big AI enemies that evolve over time.
Players.
So every time you go into a session, you play against a new version of the AI.
3 to 4 teams or more,
Yeah.
I don't remember, but scattered out in a big world. And at some point, giant machines would arrive. It was already populated with smaller machines, but then we would have these larger machines arrive, and then we would sort of have the surviving players would then converge into these epic moments at the end tail of a session. We had some amazing playtests and amazing moments when we did that, and we saw the potential there. And we wanted to believe that we could replicate that on a consistent basis. But that's where where the sober eye should have come perhaps a little bit earlier than we wanted. We wanted to believe that we had something there, that there are some incredible moments in there. But the individual player there, if we were being honest with ourselves and looking at the game with the lens of trying to capitalize on that and make a game out of that, again, consistently replicating a player session that would hold those moments over and over again, I think that was much, much harder than we thought.
Yeah, and I agree.
This version of the game,
And thankfully they changed it, because if that was gonna be the game, it would not have survived. It wouldn't. Like, yeah, it's fun, but to make that the core of the game, like this is what Arc Raiders is, and then add other things around it, it was not gonna work. Like, now, the way the game is right now is working, and now they can add, if they wanted to do that, they can add that to the game. They could still add it, you know, because they felt like they had some great play tests, and I believe the people that were playing it said that they were enjoying it. So now they can still add that element to the game, but the base of the game, the core, it's already set in stone. It's a PvP VE. Everyone loves it. Everybody's enjoying it. So right now, later on in the future, I'm pretty sure they're going to add that into the game.
now known as EP.1, was a very different game to the Arc Raiders we know today. Player movement was far more bombastic, characters were powerful, adopted the personas of various heroes, and worked collaboratively to hunt down these large machines. Very different to Arc Raiders in terms of both gameplay and tone. But many fundamental aspects of the game were developed in this period. Highly detailed, vast open terrain, the feel of the weapons, the look of the world. One such aspect, the technology driving the locomotion of these large robots, is going to require its very own video in this series, so look out for that soon.
what's exciting and what's still exciting is the fact that
could still
using
work.
this technology for our locomotion system is the door that opens up when you are training something to behave and walk by itself, and the nature, like when this player starts interacting with that and losing limbs and still it wants to stand up, it just opens that door to a new type of experience that players haven't had before, I think. They're literally playing against a machine.
We spent the majority of our first year just building tools. I also knew that we weren't going to get things right. That we were going.
I don't know if it would have survived without the PvP, bro. I can't see it. I can't see it, bro. Cause yes, it worked with Helldivers, but Helldivers has bugs. It's a difference when you're dealing with a bunch of bugs and you're dealing with a bunch of arcs, like machines and things like that, drones. It's a totally different vibe. Like bugs, you just want to like kill them and squash them all, and they're all coming to you at a bunch, all at one time. You know, these arcs, they appear like from time to time, they appear and things like that. And even if it was like a swarm of drones, it'll be too much. Like it'll just be overwhelming. Because at the end of the day, they are drones. They got machine guns attached to them, rockets attached to them. So it just would have been overwhelming. As opposed to the bugs, you're just trying to kill bugs and have a good time. So that's why it really worked. Because if you notice with Helldivers, nobody really went to the automatons because everybody was always getting, you know, frustrated with them. They were too overpowered. They were OP. And what will happen? Everybody will always come back to the bugs. Yo, let's go back to killing bugs because that's what you had the most fun at. Not with the automatons. So that should pretty much tell you why that part of Helldivers almost like doesn't work, whereas to the part with the bugs always worked. Is because of that. So that's why I feel like if this game was PvE only, it will not work, bro. It wouldn't.
We're going to make a ton of mistakes along the way, and we had to plan for those mistakes and kind of get ourselves in a cushion to be able to make those mistakes. Guess what? You know, if you're trying to send people to Mars, you will crash a bunch of rockets. We crashed a bunch of rockets.
I remember one of the earliest things that I worked on was the dog. Do you remember like the four-legged little pouncing thing that ran around the world?
Yeah, that's long gone.
Yeah, it's long gone. But that was one of the first things that I started working on.
Sometimes ideas written down on paper or that people talk about, like, oh, it'll be so cool, we'll have these enormous things and they can come down and you can fight them. And then in practice, when you put them into the game and you kind of go, okay, well, how does this actually work? It sounded really cool when we were talking about it, but actually now I'm just running around looking up all the time because it's 200 meters tall. And how do we even get up there? And what happens if I fall off?
Well, I think one of the core problems was that
You see what I'm saying? That's exactly it. You know, like, you're always going to be looking up, like, at all times. Yo, Lunchi, what's good, my brother? Yeah, them Helldiver 2 robots was crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you didn't like the bugs, Lunchi? That's crazy. You're one of the very few people who would say that.
we were building then was something pretty new in terms of like how the gameplay would be, and it felt like we were moving in the same direction, but then with the pandemic we started to drift apart quite a lot.
The way we built the game before was very loose. That kind of mixing pot produces a lot of cool moments, and we just couldn't find the nugget that makes you want to persist. What is the main retention mechanic behind some of all this, what's in the mixing pot of fun experiences?
I remember they had this like sort of crazy idea about projectiles that would remove the parts of the the enemies. So that was one of the first things that I actually worked on, was a function for the launchers that we had to be able to like suck off the plates on one of the kind of bigger scarab bots that we had.
Finding the fun is always the thing that you cannot just automatically say that we'll just do this and it will be fun. What you know is like you work and you put the thing in and it's not working as you want it to. So then you need to start reworking it and reiterating on it, and maybe rethinking some of your initial assumptions that there's limitations in certain aspects and there's other ways that actually it's more fun because you play the game and you realize, you know what, it's more fun throwing these rocks at this robot, or it's more fun, you know, jumping. And that, I think, comes from playing the game and just playing around with what you created and allowing that to express itself in the game's creation. I think that's when you can actually do new, meaningful things.
The way we developed our game by, you know, people put things in there and we feel it out together and we change what's wrong together worked well when we were a smaller team and met each other all the time. But then it just didn't work well once we were separated through the pandemic.
Behind the scenes, Pioneer was struggling to find its identity. The pandemic was partly to blame. Problem solving is much more challenging with teams spread apart, but more worryingly, the various departments were beginning to drift with each milestone. Communication was challenging remotely, and as a result, the game was beginning to feel less cohesive. More worryingly, the moments that made the game feel special, when all the players got together in the center of the map to destroy a large machine, were difficult to replicate. So in order to fix this, the team entered a 6-month phase in which they would try and distill this PvE experience into something that would deliver satisfying rounds more consistently. This phase was known internally as the pivot.
If I remember correctly, we had actually reduced the game to a point where, okay, we need to make this one part fun. And if we can make this part fun, then we can replicate it, right? Even though we had this huge world, we're just using a small portion of it. And my first task was the moment I realized we are very ambitious, which was, Kaio, can you put a timeline to deliver this game, right, in 2020? And I said, well, from what I can see here, did all the estimates, talk to the whole team, understand the whole scope of it. I was like, okay, I think the best we can do is like we need around 2 years. And the answer was, no way, we have 6 months. How can we make a plan that fits 6 months? And I remember even the name of the presentation was called Hail Mary Plan. And we had a plan for trying to get something out there in 6 months.
At that time, it was in a state where we were looking at trying to launch it, or at least getting ready to launch it. So we'd had what we had called closed beta at that point, and I think as part of that process, realized that what we had there wasn't really a viable thing. Their game loop, it wasn't really there. So you'd have some sessions where you had an amazing moment, and you loved it, and you never had anything like that in a game ever before. And then the following 10 sessions, you were running for 10 kilometers with nothing happening and nothing to interact with. So it really kind of hinged on these highly emotional moments that were few and far between.
It's not like every player who goes into the game is going to be like, oh yeah, I ran into this giant boss and I had this cool encounter, because that's how we designed the encounter to play out. It's like some people ran in there and like, I just got stomped on the head and died immediately. Yep. It's like, oh, sorry, yeah, we don't actually control where it's putting its legs.
Or I ran in and someone had already pulled 3 legs off of it. So now it was laying there and kind of like trying to, you know, kind of go at you.
Felt kind of cruel.
Yeah, exactly. And it was really difficult to make it consistent for all the players.
This whole idea about kind of raiding together against these huge, large robots, that there was elements of fun in there, for sure, and there was elements of spectacle in all of it, for sure. But what I couldn't see was not that there wasn't moments of fun, or that. What I couldn't see is that I couldn't see the big picture of it. I didn't quite understand how all of this would meaningfully add up to something that could stand the test of time and consistently do so. We had, at the end of the pivot period, there was a playtest, or there was a playtest where we invited friends and family.
A mode where you broke into the spaceport level and activated these things, which culminated in one of our giant bosses coming down. We went out with that in the closed beta, and you know, it did what it needed to do, but it also affirmed that outside of those
emotional highs and the novel gameplay. There was nothing that stitched it together. We lacked any sense of metagame or progression. So you'd have these fun sessions for a few times, but there was nothing that actually pulled you back or kept you going forward.
You know, I think a couple of us already knew what that test was going to be. But at the end of the day, it became even clearer as we got closer to the deadline that while this has, of course, it's fun and there's something here, it's still lacking a big component. So Patrick already said, I think the first day I started here, is that I think you need to add PvP.
We had conversations, and I certainly, as I'm always, was very opinionated towards the team around what I thought. I mean, from the start, I said, listen, I think that we need this to be a PvP game to some extent. I think we're going to struggle with getting a PvE game the way that we want to with the tech that we have.
And that's really when we had a lot of internal discussions, and I think we had our summer party and then went on break and came back, and then everyone was informed that we were pivoting to a new genre and starting to explore what that could mean, and lifted everything we could. So a lot of the environments, the enemies, the characters, or things about the characters were lifted and sort of repurposed.
It didn't work. The larger recipe for the game wasn't there, and again, we couldn't replicate the sessions consistently enough. So I think that's enough to start talking about, well, should we consider adding the PvP component?
I understand that a lot of people, and frankly me included, wanted this to be a PvE game, and I wanted for our vision to work. But when it doesn't work, you have two options. You can either, well, three. You can release what you have to the public and they will crucify you. We've seen that happen multiple times. Or you decide, I don't want to continue with this, we shut it down. That we've seen that multiple times. Or you still have a belief in the lore, everything that you've built, and the core kind of gameplay loop, and you say, maybe I can just make this something different.
The pivot had not worked. The team knew that a more drastic solution was required, a new phase in which the older version of Arc Raiders would be put to rest and a new game built around PvE and PvP combat would be built. This phase, the most significant beat of Arc Raiders' development story, is known internally as the Reset. But to buy the studio enough time to reset Arc Raiders, they'd first have to push forward the release of the studio's other multiplayer project.
What the studio needed to do once we actually made the decision was that one of the reasons we could make it was we switched the order of the games. So that would be the implication of it, because we wouldn't be able to add PvP and figure out what the new game was all about and still keep the kind of targeted release window. That was pretty clear from the beginning, which meant that we had to put the finals front and center. Which of course for them was perhaps, well, okay, suddenly we're in the hot seat now, and that certainly must have felt like a challenge to that team.
The reset wasn't just going to be a case of sticking PvE into their PvP game. It was going to require a fundamentally new approach to the way sessions would play out, a way of merging the best parts of their enemies and world building with PvP gameplay that felt exciting.
So once they figured out that this is the direction they wanted to move into, they had to pause the entire development and go and focus strictly on the finals. So they left this game for a minute and just went strictly to the finals and just focused on that. That's crazy. And this is when the pandemic is happening and everything like that.
But not overly punishing either. So what was going to get cut and what did they keep?
So we had the world, which we knew we liked. We knew the world that was crafted. And I think one of the reasons why I was playing the game quite early, I was just walking through these empty hallways and these corridors of offices, and I was thinking to myself, like, I just want to explore this place. I want this to be more than just a static backdrop where, you know, I'm fighting robots. I want this to be something. I want to be here because you already built one half of it. So I feel like you already made me want to go and explore this world. So what game type then would be the game that kind of fits there? How can we kind of apply that with a new game type? When we broke it all down, it started to become more and more apparent on, you know, we had the arcs, the AIs that we wanted to continue building. We wanted to keep the large robots. We wanted to keep the world. We wanted to keep the brand and IP because we saw the response from the players and all those things. So we didn't feel like we needed to invent all those things. There was a game telling us that that's what it wanted to be to some degree.
If we think about the different phases, the phase we were in when we did the reset felt absolutely right, because the game we had at our hands at that point wasn't at the peak fun that it itself had even been, right?
There was one thing that they kept bringing back to me, like, you know, when was the game most fun? And they say like M12, I think is the name, M12. You need to go back and look at M12. I was like, okay, milestone 12, I have to go back and look at it, which was a scaled down version of the full experience, but it took place around the spaceport area, and there was players going through a bunch of arcs and then eventually ended up inside of the spaceport and then fought one of the large robots inside the spaceport. And so they felt like that was the strongest that the game had been. So we tried to recreate that to some degree, as at least take some of the things that we knew worked from that point and put that into the game.
I think what worked was the emergent nature of how players were interacting with each other and the machines, and there was a good sort of rhythm of play in that one. I think the destruction of the machines themselves, there were some sort of, you know, gradual, gratifying, juicy destruction, and we could see how the machines were navigating across this spaceport. Repeating it, if you're asking yourselves, would I do this over and over again, even if you just changed the environments and the machines were slightly different and so on, like what is the, then you start asking the right questions about why would I come back? And in a context of a free-to-play game where retention is crucial, you have to be able to see yourself doing that over and over again.
The game we're making now was the game I sort of imagined when we started building it. It was a game about exploring and being in this world, and the world was supposed to challenge you, and you were supposed to go places to find things. And just the way the game was playing earlier was this action game where things just came at you. To me, it's much better because it has a slower pace. This is the best game I've worked on for me, because it's a game about listening for things.
And that's why PvP is such an important addition to the game. Like, I think a lot of people have a strong reaction to what that might mean, but if you think about what happens when you play against other humans, you just realize that finite distance gets closer to infinite, because now you have all the permutations of human behavior in the session. Some players might not like playing another person because you'll get tryhards that are very, very good. But if we do our job well, then you'll have something that feels balanced and fun, even if you're not the best at aiming or the best at shooting. You should still be able to, you know, find something rewarding in that experience of extracting stuff back out of the world.
You're coming in to a world where Arc is operating and there is something going on. I think the gameplay components there, when they discover you, how they discover other players, and how that becomes noise traps for other players is super interesting. So I think that the toolbox for our designers here to build emergent moments, it's actually really strong.
That they chose the direction they did.
I mean, I understand that some people are upset that it didn't work. So am I. But at the same time, what we have now is an incredible game that I believe works really well, that I think people will have an amazing time with. That's all that we can do as game developers. Try our best to deliver that to the players out there. It's simple, it's not more complicated than that.
Our chief concern is to make a game that is fun at its core, and that stays fun and keeps being fun and keeps evolving into something that is even more fun. Because I mean, that was the cul-de-sac we ended up with before we rebooted the game, right? It was really fun, but it was the same kind of fun over and over, and that doesn't really cut it.
In the reveal trailer, what we were literally selling to our players is, even though we're saying fictionally, like, there's large machines out there, well, in that video, we are dominating the machines. We're jumping on top of them, smashing them, and inviting players to have fun with that. That's been flipped around. And I think that's for the better. Like, really having players fearing the machines is a completely different game. That's a 180 in terms of how we relate to the machines as the players.
The old version of Arc Raiders was now dead, a dream that the studio was going to have to wake up from. But what could they retain from those early years? What stuff could they bring forward into this new version of Arc Raiders? And what new tricks did they have up their sleeves? In the next episode of this 3-part series, we're going to tackle the experience of being a raider. How elements like combat, the loot system, audio, and world building evolved after the reset. And crucially, why the studio dropped the plan to go free to play. See you then.
Can we drop a bomb for Embark Studios, please? Can we drop a bomb for Arc Raiders, please? I mean, listen. Great episode 1. You know, I love documentaries like this. I love documentaries, period. Great episode 1. Everything they said in episode 1, like, I completely agree with 100%. Like, it's the reason why the game is the way it is today. It's the reason why you have over 200,000 concurrent players every day since the release of this game. It's because of everything that they said. Like, if this was strictly PvE, it was not gonna work, bro. Because like he said at the end, they just kept doing, it was fun, but they kept doing the same fun over and over and over again. And at some point, you was gonna be like, all right, we done. Like, I'm done with the game. Like, I had my fun. It was a good time. Let me go get back to whatever I was playing. Whether that be Battlefield. A lot of people were playing Battlefield. Let me go back to Battlefield. I'm good. I had my fun. And that's what it was gonna be, you know? So for them to flip it like that, and like he said at the end, with the trailer showing them dominating the machines, to now flip that, and now you play the game, you see how dominant those arcs are. Like, we're actually afraid of them. We're trying to move, like, run past them so they won't see us, because we know how sticky the situation might get if they do end up seeing us and things like that. Like, they really did it, bro. They really did that. And like Patrick Sutherland said, right? The CEO. All they could do, and you can tell, all they could do is try to bring the fun when they're making a game, you know, make it as fun as possible to the players out there, right? Because that's what I feel like a lot of studios are missing today. They go straight to thinking about the money, and that's what messes up development. That's what's messing up the industry. They going for the money. Is this gonna make money? Nah, I don't think people doing that. That's why, you know, most of these games, FPS games that are coming out, they trying to replicate one another, like Concord trying to do Overwatch and things. They already have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and why did they do that? Because they said Overwatch made a lot of money. This is what people want. Let's do that. Let's do the same thing, but our style and things like that. So they were thinking about the money. Overwatch makes money. We could make money, instead of thinking about something unique, something fun, that players are gonna gravitate to as soon as you press play, right? Because this is what happened with Arc Raiders when they first showed it to us. As soon as we saw the trailer, the first time they revealed it, everybody was like, yo, that shit look fire. It looked like some sci-fi, Star Wars, fighting machines. We didn't really know what the game was gonna be, but by the look of it, we was like, yo, that shit's fire. You know what I'm saying? When we saw Concord for the first time, what people were saying, that shit looks trash. What is that? That looked like Guardians of the Galaxy members. What's going on here? You see what I'm saying? It's two different type of situations. So to the developers, you gotta focus on the fun factor first. If you don't do that, your game might be DOA. You know what I'm saying? People are playing video games. If it don't have a fun factor to it, it is not gonna work. If it's not well optimized, it's not gonna work. If the lore of the game is not there, it's not gonna work. Like, you gotta think about all these things. So, and that's about it. I think that's my final thoughts on this episode 1. They hit the nail on the head. And I'm just glad they went PvP VE instead of PvE. Now, like I said earlier, the PvE factor, they could still add it onto the game now. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. That was going to be the game. But now that we have the game, now they could start adding the PvE concept to it. Add it on there. Have it as its own separate entity, right? Have it as its own separate game mode, right? Where you just PvE over there. You saw the hovering bikes, right? Like the hovering bikes. Start adding that now. To have a separate situation where you just racing, like have a racing element part of the game. Like, yo, what's up? Let's go race. I just unlocked this new bike. This shit got in the front of it, it got the minigun that I bring it out and it has a minigun so I could shoot whoever's in front of me. I could do this, that, and the third. Involve some arcs in it, right? That'll make the race more challenging. Things like that. Like I told you earlier, something like Star Wars Episode 1. Something like that. Like, they have the world. It's right there. You know? So, huge shout out to Embark Studio for creating this masterpiece of a game that they got on their hands, man. And it's only gonna get better, right? You think about that. The game is only gonna get better. This is only the beginning of the game. Think about all the maps that they are going to add on to this game. Just think about it. The new weapons that they're gonna start adding. The new arc enemies that they're gonna start adding. Everything. Like, just with the new map in Stella Mantis, see that shredder. You see how everybody fears that shredder, bro? Because if that shit catches you, you're done. Like, there's no way you're getting out of there. So, think about it, bro. The game is going to grow and it's going to get better. And it's just going to, the popularity of it is going to growing and growing and growing. All right? So, that's it right there, man. Let's drop another bomb for this episode 1, man. That's it right there, man. That's it right there. They need to drop all this on Netflix? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro. That was fire. Yo, Chris, what's good, my brother? I want to watch the full series. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna upload this as a separate video in case people want to see it, in case people missed it, in case people missed my thoughts on it. I'm gonna clip it and we have 40 on there. Let me write that down. I'll clip it and I'll upload it. Yo, Chris, what's up, my brother? You just missed it, bro. We just reacted to it, bro. We just finished reacting to it. Know what I'm saying? We just finished reacting to it. It's fire. It's a 3-part series, all right? This is on YouTube, bro. This is on YouTube. It's a 3-part series. Here it is, bro. It's this one was 27 minutes. Yeah, bro. You just got in here. I know, bro. Don't worry about it. We're gonna I'll upload it. Don't worry about it. Why it says the names like that? Why it does that? Can I change that? Like, why is saying like 4602 and shit like that? I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah, don't worry about it, Chris. I'll upload it. All right, my brother. But yeah, that's it right there, man. I'm about to get into some gameplay here, man. All right. Fire. Let me see. Hold up. About to get into some gameplay, y'all. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here, man. Hope everybody good, man. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Get it. Let's get it, people. Let's get it, people. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Pardon me, man. I was just picking up the best controller on the market. You understand what I'm saying? My bad. You understand? These are facts, people. Okay? These are facts. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, snap. I changed the game? There we go. My bad. Yo, Chris, my birthday is this coming Wednesday. So I've been a little busy. That's why I missed the beginning. It's all good, my brother. Can we drop a bomb for my brother Chris, please? Get it popping. It's all good, my brother. It's all good, my brother. Even if you just stop by to say what's up, it's all good. Yeah, what you doing for your birthday, bro? Mine just passed on the 7th. Yo, can we drop a bomb for my brother Molly, please?
Processing here. The photo board updated. Check carefully.
Happy belated, my brother. By the way, I think I'm going to sell my Pro and completely play on PC. Can we drop a bomb for my brother Chris, please? Yo, what happened, Chris? You don't use it, right? My boy Molly said, never mind, Chris. Oh, man. Nah, don't sell it, bro. You going out on Wednesday? All right, cool, bro. I mean, we old heads, my brother. We old heads. It ain't no, these ain't times like before when we had that energy and shit, Well, Chris, don't sell it, bro. Don't sell it. It's always good to have a console like there. You know what I'm saying? Just in case anything, whatever. Like, just leave it there, bro. Don't sell it. Just leave it. You don't got to buy a game for it ever again. You don't got to do none of that. But just have it there. Like, you never know. Just have it there. Good, brother. Good. I know, bro. I'm the same way. The last time I played it was for Ghost of Yote. Before Ghost of Yote, I hadn't touched my PlayStation for a long time. But I've been playing on PC. So just leave it there, bro. And the next time I might turn it on again, it's gonna be for Saros. So just keep it there. You have the best of both worlds. Just leave it right there, bro. You good. Good, bro. I'm gonna be with y'all in 2027. My boy Molly gonna disown me? Damn. If I had a good rig, I wouldn't be on PS5, not gonna lie. Yo, can we drop a bomb for my brother Molly, please? There you go, my brother. See? That wasn't so hard, right? Just being honest and putting it out there. Why all the hate for PC? Why all the hate, man? There you go, my brother. When you ship over to this side, you're gonna see. You're gonna see. As long as you get that PS6 day one, I ain't getting no PS6 day one, brother. I'm telling you that right now. I am not getting no PS6. I'm telling you that right now. As good as those graphics might look for the PS6, it's only gonna look that much better on my PC when that game comes over to PC. There's no need for me to get a PS6, bro. Molly, come on home, bro. You gonna love it. Facts. I know he gonna love it. I know he gonna love it. Are you saving money, Molly, or not? Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
If anyone's seen a medical crew in Speranza, tell them Sector C5 has been waiting for hours.
Yo, Molly, you said how are you working towards that? Like, are you working towards getting a PC or not? Oh, okay. All right, so you lit, my brother. Yeah. Take care of what you gotta take care of first, always, my brother. And then do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Do the damn thing. The facts. The facts. That's why you mainly work. Play on console, but I'm working towards it. There you go, my brother. There you go, my brother. Do what you gotta do. Gotta do, man. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Facts. What I'm coming out here with, man. Let me take it easy right now, B. Let me take it easy, all right? Take it easy. We get some light ammo up in here. A couple of jump offs up in here. We got. Take a couple of those. You know what I'm saying? Take that jump off right there. What I'm saying?
Attention all, a barrel's leaking, so...
Let me get some more stuff.
You've got coin, I've got weapons.
I might have to go on a quick money run, bro. I'm running low on money.
Here, take it.
That. Give me those. Give me that. That's mine. You get some of these joints.
What's the damage?
Back. Okay, now let me get some. Up in her. All like that. We'll go all like that. All like that. Let me craft an extendo. See what I'm saying? Extendos in my Mac.
Hey.
There, you feel me? There, you feel me? Get outside. Go right outside. Real quick. Where we at? We at? Got the hidden bunker. 54 minutes. Got the harvester. Ooh. The harvester, don't we? Harvester. Just went out to the Korean barbecue. I actually had work first thing in the morning, but I got oh, okay. Fire. Yo, how's Arc Raiders like on the portal? Like, does it run good and everything like that? And do you have your PlayStation connected to an Ethernet cable, or is it under Wi-Fi? Like, let me know the details. Yo, where you gonna go eat at, Chris, for your birthday? Where you gonna go eat at? Yeah.
Red alert, Raiders. We've spotted a harvester in your area. A queen is guarding it with her life. Only engage if you've brought your best gear, lots of backup, and a very good plan.
Guard this with your life, dude. Guard this with your life, dude. Oh, I'm gonna have to change my outfit, bro. I don't want to be out here like this. This is my night raid outfit. How I'll be in the nighttime. Oh, I hear it. Oh, where's the house at? I saw it. There's another one there too. I might get some good. Yeah, bro, for $200, not bad, huh? Not bad. What we doing here?